If you're a candidate out there and you feel like you have this issue of knowing what path to take to become a firefighter or what steps should you take first, just know that you're not alone. A lot of us out there that are super green, super new, or just getting ready to test have those similar concerns and those similar questions. And over the years, throughout the YouTube channel and via email, candidates reaching out to me, I've gotten those questions often. So what I wanted to do in this video is I just kind of wanted to touch on it, kind of give my 2 cents on answering that and my response. So I have this Word document here, and it says, what path should I take? So the first thing I do is I give my advice in regards of, hey, go ahead and get your EMT. And the reason why I take this path is because, without knowing your personal information or where you're at in life or your own life goals, I tend to say, hey, you want to become a firefighter, go get your EMT. The EMT is one of those minimum level qualifications that you need to be eligible to test for most departments out there. So that's why I say, hey, register for an EMT program, go through the program, be successful, get your EMT, take your national registry so you can become EMT certified. So that way, once you obtain that, you obviously have all the other minimum qualifications in regards of, being 18 years or older. You have your valid driver's license, you have your EMT, and, you're getting ready to go do your CPAT stuff, so you're eligible to test. You can go and start testing for departments. And, if you're properly prepared, you're the right fit for that department, and you crush your testing process, there you go. You just earn a spot within the fire service. And I know I said that, and it's super simple, but it's not as simple. But that's what I'm saying in regards of just blatantly answer the question and you want to become a firefighter. That's probably my greatest advice. And that's not without knowing your situation, finances, life-wise, or your goals. So now I'm going to go into other stuff here. So stuff that goes along with the advice that I was just giving is, get involved. So if hey, I want to become a firefighter, as you get your EMT, as you're going through that process, it takes time. All EMT programs aren't the same in duration. Some are, accelerated 9 weeks, some are semester long, whatever the case is. Try to get involved. Go right along at fire departments, rub elbows and shoulders with firefighters and get involved with their charity and their union events. So you can kind of get your face out there so you can become a familiar face. And as you're doing this as you're going through this whole process, it's time, right? So then you still have time to properly prepare. So you're getting a mentor within the fire service, and you're working on your fitness and your nutrition, based on the information you get from your firefighter representatives, and you're preparing for the CPAT, doing your research, knowing what the CPAT entails and what events are in the CPAT, and you're working on your firefighter written exam material. And when it comes to your interview skills, if you're going down riding at fire departments and working with other candidates, you're going to be doing mock orals to where you're practicing how to perform within a firefighter interview, because it's super important. So properly preparing yourself for the testing process, and then it goes hand in hand with test as soon as possible. So that's like my initial advice. Now, without giving my initial advice, me kind of get to know you more as a candidate, what I would do, I would say, obviously you have the concern of, hey, Markel, what do I do? What steps should I take? What do you recommend that I do first? What path is best to where I can get on the department? What I would do is I would talk about, hey, what are your life goals? Like, what do you want to do? What do you feel you need to accomplish to have fulfillment in your life? Are you that type of person that, wants to go and travel and experience more to life than rather just, settling down into a career and kind of just working to retirement? Or, do you want to have more work experience? Do you want to go work for an AMBO or work for a hospital or just get different work experience and life experience in general? Do you want to achieve further education? This is a big one. A lot of candidates have issues with this because they feel like, oh, I need to go get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree to become a firefighter. It's like, no, you don't need that. As of now, the minimum qualification is a high school diploma or GED. So it doesn't require that you need a bachelor's degree to obtain a position within the fire service. Yes, you have to go get, an EMT, or in some departments may require you have to get a medic or a firefighter 1 and 2, which requires further education, but that's not a bachelor's or a master's degree. But, if you're that person like myself, I wanted to go play ball in college and I wanted to achieve a bachelor's degree. So that was part of my life goal. So I needed to take that path before I became a firefighter. And you can also get on the job, get off probation, get on the job, get comfortable with it, and you can kind of slowly start taking class by class and still achieve that goal. But I wanted to play college ball, and that was kind of my path. But, if you're that person that wants to go obtain further education, then go ahead and do that. Just know that when it comes to your preparation and your ability to test for fire departments, once you get out and you obtain your degree and you achieve that goal, go back to this. Start taking the steps that I was telling you. Go get your EMT, get involved, properly prepare, and test as soon as possible. So then I put another one here is fast track to the job. So there's a lot of young candidates that I talk to that they just like, hey, Markel, I just want to get on as fast as possible. What should I do? And I take them back to this. My initial advice is like, okay, here's what you do. Do everything I say here. Get your EMT, get involved, properly prepare, test as soon as possible. As you're doing these things, the departments that you want to test for, you're going to be getting involved with them. You're going to see what the requirements are within that specific organization. So you're going to know, hey, Department A says, hey, I only need an EMT to be eligible. So once I get my EMT, I can start testing. Or, Department B says, hey, you need to have a paramedic license and a Fire 1 certification to be eligible to test for that. So you know exactly what you need to start pursuing and achieve so you can be eligible to test for those departments. So that when it comes to the fast track to the job, it still goes back to my initial advice. It's like, educate yourself on what you need. Go ahead and get your EMT, because for most departments you're gonna need it. It's very rare to have departments out there that don't require EMT. I tested for one, and if you've been watching the channel, I've covered it before. I've tested for a department that didn't require that I had an EMT to be eligible to test for them, which was rare, and it was awesome to do that and have the ability to test. So you can also look for those departments. But in general, EMT is like well known, like, hey, you need an EMT. So yeah, just retract back to that. And I put etc. because obviously there's a whole bunch of different categories you can bring up when it comes to life goals. Whether you want to start a family first, or fulfill a religious path first, or whatever the case is. You need to understand what your life goals are, because it's gonna truly dictate what path is best for you. Not all paths are the same for each candidate, and not one path is the right path. It's your path. And I put this here, it says many paths can lead to the same destination, and I put can there for a reason, because not all the paths that are out there that you could take can lead to the fire service. Obviously there's right and wrong, good and bad, all that stuff, but in a general sense, if you're in the right headspace, you're doing what you need to do in regards of your preparation for the fire service, and say you went to the education route, or say you wanted to play a little bit of pro ball, whatever the case is, you took those routes, you can still kind of find your way back to the fire service. That's kind of what I mean by that. My path and my journey may not be exactly the same as yours, but that doesn't mean that you don't have the ability and you're not able to become a firefighter. That's not the case. Your path can be completely different. It can take you 2 more years or 6 more years than it took me to do it, but that's your path, that's your journey. So just understand that many paths can lead to the same destination. And I put the research requirements for your department down here just to remind myself to just reiterate. When it comes to you when you sit down and you say, hey, I'm kind of digging this firefighter thing, I kind of want to be a firefighter. What you want to do is you want to educate yourself, just like I told you. So start looking at departments. If you can, go get involved so you can start seeing, hey, I can see myself working here, because I need you to understand something. Yes, you're fighting for a spot within their organization. You're trying to earn a spot within their home and become a fellow brother or sister within that organization. But you're still bringing something into it. You're bringing your value, your worth. So you want to find departments that you have close ties to, and that you feel comfortable being a part of, and that you feel proud to be a part of. So once you start seeing those departments and you want to work for this big city department, go in on their website and find out what the requirements are. Find out what you need. Start talking to their probationary firefighters. Start talking to their senior firefighters to see, hey, I'm looking to pursue this. What's the best route to take? How do I make myself more marketable? And how do I increase my odds of being successful throughout this testing process so I can earn a spot within your organization? So things like that. That's why I put this down here. But I know that's a lot. I'm trying to I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. We're almost at 10 minutes here. But this is kind of how I answer this question. So, if you're a candidate out there and you have this concern of, what path should I take, to become a firefighter? What path is best for me? How do I get there the fastest? Which steps should I take first? All in all, I'm always going to go back to this, and then when I dive further into getting to know you and how you are in your situation, your finances, and just where you're at in life, I start learning a little bit more about you, and then kind of start, helping you unravel what path may seem best for you, granted the circumstance you're in. But all in all, go back to this. Find out what the minimum qualifications are and go get them. And then start preparing yourself so you can test as soon as possible, because you never know when an opportunity is going to present itself. And I told you this in past videos. It can happen at the blink of an eye. Unfortunately, when I got out of EMT school and I was getting ready to test, all the departments that I was around, that was in my surrounding area, had already tested. So I had 9 months to prepare. There's people that get straight out of EMT school and test right away. So you got to make sure that you're prepared because you don't want to have any missed opportunities. Okay, I know that was a lot. So if you have any questions, any concerns, make sure you drop it down in the comments. I'll do my best to get to you as soon as possible and help you through, your process and through just kind of helping you unravel, this mess and answer that question, okay? With all that being said, like I always tell you, work hard, stay consistent, and I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck, future firefighter.